Good afternoon, and welcome to this webinar, Are You Leaving the RMR Behind? This event, brought to you by SDM Magazine, is sponsored by Immix. I'm your moderator, Amanda Reed, staff editor of SDM Magazine. Thanks for joining us. Today's presenter is Chris Brown, CEO at Immix. Chris directs the Immix business globally from end to end, focused on maximizing returns and increasing recurring monthly revenue options for central station and large garden customers. With more than 30 years of experience in the security industry, specializing in the operational success of high-growth companies, Brown recently served as co-owner and vice president at Check Video, where he revamped the company's strategic vision and go-to-market strategy. Previously, he was Senior Vice President of Operations for iVerify, where he directly managed solution R&D, system design, installation, service, core infrastructure deployment, and the video monitoring center with a staff of over 200 operators. In his role at Immix, Chris uses his ability, experience, and understanding of the managed services marketplace to recognize early trends and shifts in the industry to conceptualize and expand the organization's core business lines. Chris and his team are dedicated to assisting clients in developing high RMR growth opportunities and securing clients successfully. Don't forget to submit your questions, and later in the program, our presenters will address as many as possible. Today's event is being recorded and archived on sdmmag.com. And now, I'm excited to turn it over to today's presenter, Chris Brown.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for that warm introduction. Again, I'm Chris Brown, the CEO of Immix. Come to you with about 30 years experience specifically in managed video services, access control, and other security products being brought together to generate high RMR returns. At Immix, me and my team are dedicated to assisting clients in developing high RMR growth opportunities and assuring the substantial returns. And I'll catch up on the slides here in a second. Well, first, we're going to take you through a couple of video related and kind of give you a short overview of Immix. And then we're going to dig in pretty heavily to this question we asked in the beginning. Are you leaving the RMR behind? We're going to talk about solutions we bring to the table in order to make sure you're actually capturing that reoccurring revenue and generating a dominant return on that revenue.
Remote video monitoring and managed security services have finally come to the forefront of the security industry and continue to play an increasing role in what customers demand and, by extension, what security providers need to offer to remain competitive in the market. As such, it is more important than ever that security monitoring providers, such as central stations, alarm receiving centers, and security operations centers, are able to offer these remote services to their customers, whether direct or through channel partners. For today's leading monitoring providers, Immix is the video alarm software automation platform of choice to deliver these services and maximize RMR opportunities along with operational efficiencies. Immix, which means to mix, is a video-centric, event-based software automation platform that integrates with more than 500 security manufacturer products on the market today, bringing all of those solutions into a single pane of glass or interface for the monitoring provider. Imagine a single platform that gives you the choice to monitor anything you want: alarms, video, access control, audio, GPS, mobile applications, and more. Immix is ideal for small businesses and residential customers, as well as large commercial and enterprise applications. Whether you seek to protect your customers' facilities, assets, or people, the Immix mission has always been the same: to provide a common platform connecting different systems that gives customers a choice in what services they want and how they want those services delivered. Immix. One platform, unlimited opportunities.
So now that you've learned just a little bit about what Immix offers for managed services, we are a software solution used around the globe in 40 countries today, servicing over 300 monitoring centers, SOCs, GSOCs, and remote monitoring facilities for private clients and enterprise clients. The question we're really here to talk about today, though, is are you leaving RMR behind? You know, it really starts with, are you installing cameras, access control, call boxes, and other security hardware? And are you picking up reoccurring revenue from that? Aside from the traditional maintenance revenue, are you picking up true reoccurring revenue services built on top of those hardware products? Or are you leaving that for someone else to come in and pick it up behind you? I can assure you someone is generating reoccurring off of this hardware. And if not, the client who has it has needs that can be met successfully to help you do just that. You know, are you a system integrator, you know, who's seeking to grow and kind of switch to reoccurring revenue, which has been the model? Do you feel like you often leave it behind? Are you servicing large enterprise customers that are requiring monitoring, such as access control management, large VMS platforms, incident management platforms, business risk alerts, mass notification, and other? And do your customers require a unique, sophisticated level of services, something custom that they need to help manage their business day to day or help keep them aligned to process and procedures that need to be followed and mandated? Do they have issues with that you could solve through the products you've installed for really to do just security, but now we could blend them into a more management team style functionality? And if the answer is yes, that's what this conversation is going to be about today, and what we're going to show you on how to do that in-house, outsource it, or be able to resell a product that can deliver that for them. So quick question, wanted to get a sense of our audience. So what percentage of your business is based on reoccurring monthly revenue, RMR? 25% or less than 25%, 25 to 50%, 50 to 75%, or 70% and higher? So seeing the statistics come back in real time is interesting. It's a pretty balanced group on the call as to where they fall reference to RMR. So this should be a good conversation. So 37% are in the 50 to 75 percentile, 25% in the 75 and greater. That's excellent. So managed service offering. Big, broad term in the industry, managed services. But what does it mean? And from an Immix perspective, I'm going to kind of explain to you what it means to us and to the customers we serve today. So there's a whole host of services that you can offer in the managed services world. Anything from simple video verification, whether that be the verification of an alarm generated from an alarm panel, or an alarm in today's market generated by an access control panel, which has now become the alarm panel for many customers. Video guard tours. Have you installed cameras where the customer needs someone to lean in remotely and tour those cameras just like a guard walking through the facility? Is there a need to be over the shoulder of a guard on site? Maybe some of your customers have 4 or 5 guards and they really want to get down to the cost of one with technology married beside it. We do that every day very well with our customers at Immix. Video detection and response. Do we have edge analytics or detection that is turning the camera now into the alarm panel? Where is that traffic going? Who's responding to it? And what other services could you deliver from it? Live video monitoring. Are there certain events that need to be looked at live and in real time? Do you need to be over the shoulder of a jewelry store that you work with that takes out high value assets and needs someone to be watching as they do that to make sure that somebody doesn't take that Rolex watch and run to the door with it? Those type of services are sold for very high revenues every day. Video escort, safe operation. Do we need to help? Do you have areas where you're in high risk and your customers need help getting their employees from the building out into their cars at night and in the evening? Do they carry out cash bags where they need someone over the shoulder? We can do that virtually. Safe operation. Do they open a safe in the store? You would be shocked if you haven't been in national retail how many safes sit in the front cash wrap of the store and are opened, 5 or 6 times a day with the public in the location. It's very risky. Then video verification. If alarms received from the intrusion panel, we help with that. Just kind of those are really the entry level services. And then it expands to access control monitoring. Are we taking in a door forced alarm, door held open, card denied? Can we send that alarm into a monitoring center or a partner or your own center where you can then take charge of that situation? If you have a call box, speak to the person there, have that exchange, release a door if necessary, call security to that location. Say we have an employee who was just fired, who's reading their card and trying to get in. Those are all services people are paying handsomely for today, especially in today's environment. Managed access control. Same thing. Are you helping manage the adds and deletes of cards, schedule changes? Gate entry. Is there a gate in a property? Maybe this is a property that used to have 300 employees in it. Now it has 4 because the rest work from home. Do they need somebody to help manage the gate like a guard would with a call box and a camera? Someone pulls up, presses the button, they're on an approved list. The center can determine whether they're approved or not, take their photograph and grant them access in. Maybe the site's unmanned. A lot of power companies have tie stations that our customers manage remotely for them. Are you installing that hardware and not taking that recurring revenue? The virtual doorman, very similar, but in a residential or commercial or condo building. We have one customer actually who built an entire business around just doing that one single thing, and they do very well. Forensic video review, multifamily housing, large campus business where they need forensic to go in and look at the video, find a person, follow them through multiple cameras, lead them to a resolution of an event. Could be slip and fall, could be a theft event, could be a vandalism event. And then GPS tracking. Are there assets, narcotics, money, people, vehicles that need to be tracked and need to have a whole solution around that? What Immix does in the GuardForce product is bring all of that together in a single pane of glass, in a single software. So the delivery solution for those services is, as we said, Immix GuardForce. So our next question really is, what are your top RMR streams? Everybody said, probably 75% of the group said they do RMR at some level. So what are those streams? Intrusion, fire, video, access control, service contracts, and other. Where do you fall? Lots. So I'm going to go back to that for a second. Lots of service contracts, video, fire, intrusion, not any access control. Somewhat surprising. I think you'll find that if you're doing access control work, there's so much reoccurring revenue in access control, it would really surprise you. And at Immix, we have several customers who built their entire multi-million-dollar businesses on just access control and video verification of access control events. So it's something we should look at for sure. So Immix GuardForce, what is it? We're a software automation platform, 20 years in making. And what we do is we allow economics of scale to monitor multiple customers over multiple platforms and access multiple locations. We bring together business risk alerts, video, situational awareness, access control, audio, alarms, and incident management, GPS tracking, and several other things today. We work diligently to reduce false alarm traffic into the platform using AI. And we have a very unique dispatch system that allows us to move video directly into the hands of the responding party or of responding police officer. So, choosing how you want to deliver services. So what's the primary foundation of access control monitoring, video verification? What's detection and response? So really, it's 3 categories that we look at of styles of solutions. Do you operate a SOC? Are you looking to offer third-party security event management solutions from your own SOC? Or are you looking for a partner that you can connect with that can help you deliver these services and share in that reoccurring revenue? So we're going to go through kind of all three of these scenarios and kind of talk about them in a little more depth, and then we'll get to some questions at the end. So if you operate your own SOC or not, can have multiple large enterprise customers. Maybe you're installing for national retailers or large enterprise companies, and you want to be able to bring all of that back individually into your center. Guardforce will allow you to do that. It segments all of the data for each customer independently in what we call a tenancy, and allows you to monitor multiple large commercial projects and multi-tenant locations. You may have one customer be a bank with 1,000 locations, a national retailer with 500, inner city housing type projects chain that has 6 or 7 locations. They all come in as their own customer and look like their own customer. They do this because Guardforce allows you to have multiple disciplines across your operators so they can handle these services that are somewhat different across those 3 different examples, and they get handled very differently. So Immix enables your operators to achieve this economic of scale, to be able to monitor all of those customers in a single pane of glass, knowing exactly what they need to do. And we're monitoring video, access, intrusion, GPS audio, relays, all of that from a single location. And you're able to bring those back independently or in a group and let your operators handle all of those different type of events. We also embed scripting, step-by-step scripting, so that every time a customer is accessed, they get the exact same client experience. So that's scenario A, is if you want to have your own SOC and offer commercial services to multiple enterprise level customers. Scenario B is if you're looking to offer third-party security event solutions to customers that operate their own SOC. So maybe there's 2 scenarios. Maybe you want to bring those back into your center, or maybe you want to resell a product that they can use in their monitoring center, their own monitoring center or NOC, to monitor all of the hardware you've installed for them. The beauty of what Immix Guardforce allows is you can have either scenario. But thirdly, you can have both. You can have a scenario where you've resold the software to a center, to a SOC, and then you could back that SOC up if you had your own center. You could back that SOC up for a shift or 2 shifts. So it allows you to blend either reselling the product to them and taking RMR, or it allows you to have your own center and do it yourself. The third scenario is one we're kind of offering to the table as well, is if either of one of those don't suit you, you're not ready, scale of the business isn't large enough to afford to stand up a center, and you're not interested in reselling the software to your customers. The third is we are setting out on a mission to help connect you to providers we already have on our platform who deliver these services from a third-party managed service perspective very well every day. The model won't cost you anything in additional overhead or capital expenditures, but you'll just partner with them to be your third-party monitoring provider. And we have the ability to connect you strategically to the right group of companies that you could choose from in order to be your partner and deliver those services. And we're happy to help orchestrate that relationship. Our goal really is to make sure that every scenario possible, if you want to get deeper into reoccurring revenue services, you do not want to run your own center, you're not left out. And we having these relationships around the globe and knowing best in breed and monitoring, we can help associate you to the right partners who can deliver for your style customers the right way every time, with you allowing to share in that reoccurring revenue. Basically, we'll help you find the right partner. So our 3 scenarios are simple. You want to have your own center for multiple customers. You want to resell a product that can allow you to collect reoccurring revenue from their own center, Or you want to be partnered with someone who already does this work and offers these services, who's true professionals at it, and introduce them to your customers or sell their services as part of your solution suite and take a piece of that revenue. GuardForce with Immix will allow you to do any of those. So I think our last question of the day is, do you sell analytic or AI embedded video solutions? Every article we read today is something about analytics or AI. So we wanted to ask this question, and we've done an enormous amount of work with it ourselves. So yes, quite a lot. Results are coming in already. Yes, some. That's fantastic. It's very interesting to see the results come in real time as people respond. And yes, some. So I would have guessed that most would offer some level of analytic detection or AI in the products they install. The question is, if you're not already monitoring these locations, why not? And how can we help you do it? Or how can we help you do it better? There's also a scenario right now where you may have some of this monitoring happening today, but what you don't have is a way to unify all of it together. You may be monitoring different products on their own back-end softwares. What Immix also does is bring all of that into a single pane of glass and knit it together. For an integrator, it's very interesting because a lot of monitoring centers can only take a solution. You can only have a Panasonic system or a Honeywell system on that site. Immix allows you to bring together disparate systems into one account, and we strip back all of the brand names and just deliver the video and the functional tools you need. Relay on and off, audio, yes or no, talk, listen, without all of the nuances of multiple softwares. And that's what we really do. Immix is a word that means to mix, as the video said, and we bring all of that together in a single pane of glass. So if you are monitoring a lot of analytics and bringing that technology in and it's disparate, we can help you streamline that and get economies of scale.
Whether you conduct your own in-house monitoring or partner with a third-party provider, Immix enables monitoring centers to provide an array of managed services such as video verification, video detection and response, virtual guard patrols, one- or two-way audio communication, remote gate or door management, remote escort or safe supervision services, enterprise access control monitoring, mobile asset monitoring, and more. This allows you to build a suite of new RMR services to greatly enhance business opportunities, as well as dramatically enhance the overall value of your business. By pulling everything into a single pane of glass with a complete audit trail of every keystroke, mouse click, video clip, and voice communication, Immix improves operational efficiency that can result in your ability to not only offer new services, but offer services to more customers without the need to add staff or other resources. What makes Immix unique is its 100% web-based open source architecture, which allows the product to be brandable, so as to align with your company name, brand, images, colors, etc. Scalable, easy to make larger and more powerful. Extensible, designed to consider future growth and industry technology requirements. Agile, so it's able to adapt quickly, easily, and intelligently. And lastly, simple, providing operational elegance of precision, neatness, and simplicity.
So just to recap a little bit and talk about the kind of question at hand is, are you looking to generate more RMR or looking to start generating RMR? We're really offering three scenarios, and what we wanted to really present today, which is quite simple. It's taking our Immix GuardForce product that's in use heavily today around the globe and offer it in a different way. Whether you're traditionally standing up a center and going to offer your own services, whether you're want to host the automation infrastructure virtually and sell services and perform for those customers, or whether you want to connect to a third-party provider and have someone partner with you to offer these services, allowing you to essentially not have to do that work, but take part of the reoccurring revenue in that scenario. And we have multiple centers today doing managed services who are very interested in meeting new integrator partners who are selling equipment, who have outstanding customers, but need monitoring services they can assist with, where they're happy to share in the revenue. Any of those scenarios generates pretty significant reoccurring revenue. And one question when we asked was, what types of services? Access control. I just can't stress enough. Immix sits in a unique viewpoint because we see globally what's emerging and where the trends are in RMR and where the growth is. And every place we have a customer who has began to offer access control monitoring, whether it be video verifying a card, whether it be door force, door held open response, whether it be invalid card read where we connect to the call box and grab video and speak to those people and help manage through those solutions. They're all very simple services to offer. We see companies literally doing that service and building multi-million-dollar reoccurring revenue streams from doing it. It is absolutely the fastest emerging new reoccurring revenue there is, right followed up by sophisticated GPS tracking. But access is so lucrative. If you're putting in access control panels and you're not generating some level of reoccurring revenue, managed services from them, gosh, let us help you understand how to do that, or let us introduce you to a partner that can. There's an enormous amount of revenue and opportunity in that space today. I hope this helped give you just a little glimpse of Immix GuardForce, of what we're trying to help do. We've always sold our product into centers and into SOCs that want to deliver these services, and we'll continue to do that. It's what we do. What we really want to do is lean into the integrator market and offer them, a path through us as a 20-year-old brand in this, in order to help them emerge into the RMR space and not leave that RMR behind, but to be able to pick it up themselves and build a whole nother channel of business around it. So hopefully we've answered a few questions a day. Hopefully we've given you just enough to get you excited to have a conversation with us. Jason Caldwell, our Director of GuardForce Sales, also on the call today, and he'll be helping me with the answer questions as they come in. But we're happy to help you any way we can. Immix is always happy to help companies grow and expand. It's our passion. It's what we do. And I look forward to taking your questions.
All right. Thank you, Chris, for a great presentation. Before we have Chris address some questions that have been submitted throughout the program, I wanted to remind you all that we'd love your feedback in our webinar survey to help improve our programs. Now for our first question.
I've got it.
Can you elaborate further on your partner integration library? I was like, where'd it go on my screen? Sorry about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in detail, we certainly can answer who we integrate to specifically, but I can tell you that today, Immix our integration library is really one of our marquees. We have over 500 integrations into the security systems world, whether that be VMS, cameras, access control systems, audio systems, people like, name a few, Axis, Dawa, AMAG, Secure, just to name literally a small few. But we have over 500 integrations today. We probably build 25 to 30 new integrations a year into our platform. We've also just built, which is exciting, we're releasing a universal access control module, which allows us to connect very simply to many of the access control systems on the market today. We're starting to see an emergence of cloud access, things like Brevo. We certainly integrate to Brevo, but there are others that are emerging who are small, don't have a big footprint, but are growing quickly. And we wanted to be able to connect to them quickly as well. So this universal access control module will allow us to do that. We also have a similar type of application we use for cameras on occasion, but most of our integrations are built SDK to SDK. and have full operating functioning. So it's a pretty broad scope, but if you could email Jason or myself, we could get you an answer on any specific integrations you have, or get you access to our partner page where all those integrations are listed.
Yeah, thank you. Next question. If I have multiple clients with their own tenancy, is their security data and account information secure from being accessed by other customers or users of the system in another tenacity?
Yes. So absolutely. We built the tenancy design is built specifically for that. Because we do have, I will say today, the 4 major guard companies in the world run this product. And so we divide that data bases are all divided independently and restricted from each other. So there is no chance that customer 1 could see customer 2's cameras, information, locations, addresses, anything. It is all partitioned inside the system and encrypted.
Awesome. Perfect. Especially nowadays, encryption is so important. And the next question, if I choose scenario A or B, what hardware am I responsible for owning and maintaining, and can that be fully hosted by a third-party data center?
So yes to the last question. And the first question is, it would depend on the size of operation you want to run, the number of counts, number of video feeds, etc. We have a calculator that tells you what hardware spec would be. But you could run that on your own server, as some of our customers do in their own NOC or their own data center. And then we have probably a little over 50% of our customers today host this product with either AWS or several other providers that we can recommend that do a fantastic job of hosting Immix for our customers. So yes, it can be on premise on your own data center, or you can have it hosted by a third party.
Awesome. And I know you mentioned your partner integration library earlier, but we have a question that asks if you could elaborate further on your partner integration library.
Jason, you want to take a stab at that? I'm not sure I can. I would say out of the 500, if we're looking at access control specifically, to my off-the-cuff return to that question would be that we're probably about 6 different access control systems deep in full integration.
Yeah.
And then from audio devices, barracks, access, digital acoustics would be a few. Every major brand of video we're integrated to. Camera integration has been our bread and butter for 20 years. AI, we're integrated to many of the AI providers. Analytics, definitely SiteLogix, Check Video, Evalon, AI-wise, Calypsa, Evalon, Century AI, Agent VI, just to name a few. Eagle Eye, we're integrated with. All parts of theirs. We're actually currently in the process of integrating to the body-worn camera. If you haven't seen that, it's an interesting new way to generate recurring revenue through commercial body-worn cameras. There's not many. It would be easier to name the people we aren't integrated to than it would the ones we are. While we're waiting for a question, I'll touch on one other thing. There's 2 things we've done at Immix that I think are worth mentioning, and we're proud of. So I'll take the opportunity within audience to mention them. One is our embedded AI solution, powered by several partners today, powered by Evalon, Calypsa, soon to be powered by Century AI and Umbo. We've been able to reduce false alarms for our video monitoring customers by over 85%. False alarms in video are probably one of the most nuisance and expensive things video has brought to the table as it's evolved. And over my 20 years at least of doing strictly video, it's escalated greatly. We set off on a mission last year to try to solve that problem with several key partners. We've had some great success. The other is the ability to get the video and data, GPS location, et cetera, into the hands of law enforcement directly. A month ago, we launched our partnership with Incident Co., which now allows us to deliver video directly to our customers in real time have our customers engage during the event, and then also shift video directly into the hands of the responding party, whether it be private security or law enforcement, private or public law enforcement. And we're very excited about what that is doing already to change the way police are responding in these critical times to real events. We're seeing feedback from law enforcement that is just extraordinary at how grateful they are to see this type of information and data coming to them, so they can respond in a safer manner and protect themselves as well as the public from responding. So those are two new things Immix has just launched and brought to the table. We found them very exciting. We're getting great reception from them. They are all part of the Guard Force package and standard.
Got it. Well, Chris, thank you so much. That is all the time that we have for questions today. Please join me in thanking Chris Brown for his presentation, as well as our sponsor, Immix. If you have any additional questions or comments, please don't hesitate to click the email us button on the console. And as always, please visit sdmmag.com for the archive of this presentation, as well as information about our upcoming events. We appreciate your time and hope you have found this webinar to be a valuable experience.